So in terms of what's going on over there, do you want to just give us a little bit more information? Because I don't think we're getting everything that you're seeing.
Yes, no, thank you, and Soma, and thank you so much for giving people the option to donate to those two different charities, the George Floyd Memorial Fund, as well as the Red Card Against Racism educational charity. I thought it was very important. It's so difficult right now to articulate. Like my last big post on Instagram was like, I find it very hard to articulate the right kind of words. Like, and I put a major disclaimer because I think it will take a while. But yes, ever since George Floyd was murdered last week by a police officer, at first they said it wasn't his underlying health issues, but now it's become very true that it was due to asphyxiation. There have been protests throughout the country, and I must say the majority of them are extremely peaceful, but definitely, like in LA here, unfortunately, which doesn't get covered in the news so much, is that the riots and the looting, that's completely different from the peaceful protesting going on, which is like the peaceful protests I'm all for, and that's what a really great cause. And even when I first moved to LA about a year and a half ago, I was quite shocked at how segregated it was a city geographically where people lived, and also in industries too, in media and in hospitality. Yes, you might see people in front of the screen in media, but people making big decisions, not so much people of color. And in hospitality, you do see some Hispanics, you do see a couple of people of color, but not a huge me, because West, South, that's the real issue. But I kind of see this enlightened, very creative boho place. And they're already, they have a huge homeless issue, mainly blacks. And in terms of now, like even with COVID showing up, it's just really clear to see that them and actually, kind of other marginalized minorities are also being affected. So it was already building up, and I could already just feel like it wasn't, I don't know, I saw a side to America, which I never really anticipated before, even though being half American, I'd always have holidays here. I had lots of different kinds of friends here, but living here, I've noticed the divide. And it is kind of, and I talked to friends about it, and they said, no, it is actually a very segregated city. And it's something which, I don't know, I always felt that the US was a kind of pressure cooker. And I think George Floyd's death, plus that incident in New York with the woman screaming to the white woman, Amy Cummings, I can't, I just had a senior moment, shouting at the black man for asking her to put her dog on a lead just because she fully knew her power as a white woman still, with the police. I think there were like a couple of incidents which sparked off the back of COVID. People are frustrated. There's a huge unemployment rate in LA too. We've got the highest, like about 29% are unemployed, and a lot of that does tend to be people who work in restaurants and things, and who are people of color, and they've been severely affected by that. And of course, that then affects their chances of not being able to maybe get the healthcare they need. Anyway, that being said, it all kind of really got exacerbated in the last few days. Sorry, I'm rambling. And now we're having some amazing peaceful protests going on, but off the back of the protests, lots of rioting and looting have been happened by kind of organized crime, thugs of all colors. I actually see a lot of white thugs and white looters on the news, and it's got nothing to do with the protests. It's just people who know that they can get away with taking advantage of this very, 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 very turbulent, tumultuous situation. And so, yeah, I never thought I'd see a SWAT team outside my bedroom window. We've had the tanks rolled in about 4 or 5 days ago. We've had National Guard because we're having 5 demonstrations. And what's really disgusting is that they'll say, oh, these 5 demonstrations happening in our area, it's Black Lives Matter. Then you go to the Black Lives Matter website and you see that it's not on the website. So then you know that it's organized crime, organized by people who know that there's peaceful protests happening in the area. And while the police's attention are all on the protests, they can then choose high-end retail areas to loot and riot and just cause disruption. So it's really like sad because I've been actually taking some time like off social media, or only using it not to really talk about wine, but really just to kind of think like, how can we actually make sure that money, time, energy is going to the right cause? And also just trying to tell my friends in the UK, when you hear about this rioting and looting, like it's got nothing to do with the protests, because I just don't think there's been much coverage, at least not in the mainstream newspapers. On Instagram, yes, and on various online platforms, yes, but definitely in the main newspapers, people didn't realize quite what was happening and the nuances which were going on in the bigger cities. It does seem to be calming down in terms of wine. Like yesterday was International Sommelier Day, and I think that was like a great day to kind of promote Black-owned wineries, Black-owned businesses, people of color, like sommeliers, or my friend Char, she's got an amazing, she did an amazing talk with some other Black sommeliers in the industry, just talking about actually your business should reflect the ethics and the ethos you want your business should look like, how the ethics you want your business to run. So I it's been very turbulent. I love the fact that the main officer's now been charged with second-degree murder, and now all the 4 officers implicated in the crime are all being charged. So that's great. We're just urging people to go out and vote because it's the primaries in the States, but it's just awesome how actually just the whole world has kind of picked up the baton, and I definitely see a lot of, like, there's peaceful protests going on in England. There definitely seems, it's really fascinating, and you have to be careful what you say. I feel like I've been allowed, because of my privilege, to be like ignorant. I always thought I had Black friends, like I'm a kind, like whatever person, and then you're just like, oh no, I really got it wrong here. I really got it wrong here. And actually, I'm in a very privileged position to have those kind of thoughts. And so, long and short of it is like, I'm just like urging everyone to just educate, donate, and take peaceful actions. And I'm just hoping that 2020, like, there's a reason for all this chaos, that it can only perpetuate some good. And I definitely think it's just amazing what it's been able to do, thanks to social media, on a global scale, of just really opening up everyone's eyes. But thank you everyone so much. Like Soma and I, we do put on these free masterclasses, but we did think it was important, particularly this week, particularly how things are kicking off, and really trying to use our platform for good, and be, Soma and I pride ourselves on being communicators, and we really could not have done this masterclass, I think, without communicating what was on our minds, what's important, and how we wish to see the wine trade moving forward.
Yeah, and I think something that, us two talking together, we found quite difficult, like you say, in a privileged position, and how do we talk about what's going on without sounding superior or idiotic, so
patronizing,
yeah,
because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. So to all of you attending, we just wanted to share that we are supporting these 2 charities, Official George Floyd Memorial Fund and the show Racism the Red Card. If you can find them yourselves, but if you want to, they're on my homepage at princessandthepinot.com if you would like to donate, which we would appreciate. But of course, it's more about spreading the word. And, the main thing that I've been taking away from other people who do know more is to listen to what's going on, to listen to other people, be educated yourselves, and spread the word about that. Thank you, Amelia.